Warning: the following stream contains flashing effects which may trigger discomfort or seizures for those with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to RPG Capper, the channel where we cap RPGs of various design. Coming to you live from the Soda Dimension where the bottle caps live and the CO2 bubbles never stop rising. Today's game: Dragon Warrior for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The cap, level 30. Our current level, 1. Alright, let's get this up. Dragon Warrior, the humble start to an iconic RPG franchise. Okay, we're going to begin a new quest. Enter my name, put the message speed to fast, and then we'll be off to the races. Okay, the game gives you 3 save files, which are represented as adventure logs. So adventure log 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go in number 1. Okay, so we'll enter our name here. I guess I'll put in a... Since there's no underscore, I guess I'll just use a hyphen in this case. Message speed, we'll do it nice and fast, so we'll get through the commands that much more conveniently. Descendant of Erdrick, listen now to my words. It is told that in ages past, Erdrick fought demons with a ball of light. Then came the Dragon Lord who stole the precious globe and hidden it in the darkness. Now, RPG Capper, thou must help us recover the ball of light and restore peace to our land. The Dragon Lord must be defeated. Take now whatever thou might find these treasure chests to aid thee in thy quest. Then speak with the guards, for they have much knowledge that may aid thee. May the light shine upon thee, RPG Capper. Alright. The king gave us our mission, so now let's break down this game's mechanics. We're the hero of the land tasked with saving everyone from the evil control of the Dragon Lord. To do this, we're going to need weapons, armor, spells, items, and a lot of cunning. First, let's examine our menu screen since we're going to be using it frequently throughout the game. The small menu you see on the left is the basic status information on your hero. On the top is an abbreviated form of your character's name. LV represents your hero's current level. It accumulates when you accomplish the level goal by acquiring a set amount of experience points. The points themselves are acquired when you defeat monsters, and furthermore, every new level achieved adjusts your hero's stats, which I will get to later. Moving on the list is HP or hit points for short. The points represent your current health and deduct by a resulting defense versus attack roll amount from the enemy to you. If the points drop below 75% of your total, the screen will turn red, or pink, depending upon how you want to interpret it. thus symbolizing that the hero is getting weak, and you will need to resort to using a healing item or stay at an inn to recuperate. Next is MP or magic points for short. The points represent your current magic use charges and deduct by a certain amount for every use of a particular magic spell. Right now, we have no magic spell to cast and no points charged. We'll be learning magic spell as we level up our hero over the course of the game. Next is G, or gold for short. This is the currency that will be this is the currency that we'll be using to purchase weapons, armor, and looting chests that contain gold in them, or more commonly, by defeating monsters in battle. Our purse can hold up to a maximum amount of 65,535 gold pieces. Again, with the unsigned integer variable. Finally, E or experience for short. We collect experience by defeating monsters in battle. The counter here will accumulate every experience amount acquired from battle victories towards a set total. The counter will cease its count at 65,535, thus symbolizing the cap. Now we move on to the command menu. Talk allows our hero to talk to non-player characters, or NPCs for short, provided that the hero is facing them adjacently. We use this feature to get information towards our quest, or just some plain witty dialogue. Moving on. Spell allows the hero to consult his list of learned magic spells to see which spells he can use outside of battle towards his own benefit. Status brings up a detailed status list signifying the hero's current weapons, armor, and stat points towards his character. Item brings up a list of items that the hero can use to produce a desired effect for him or the environment around him. Stairs allow the hero to ascend or descend a flight of stairs if he is standing on a staircase tile. Door allows the hero to open locked doors provided he has a key. Search allows the hero to search the title he... Search allows the hero to search the title he occupies for anything interesting that could aid him in his quest. Take allows the hero to take an object on the tile that he occupies. Now, let's take a closer look at the status screen. Here's a layout of the status screen if you want to take a more detailed look at the makeup of your hero. Name is the full name of your hero. The strength stat represents the base strength number of your hero that signifies the amount of damage that they can do to an enemy during battle. The strength stat can be bolstered by weapons and item boosts and is calculated by a roll algorithm during battle versus the defense stat of the enemy. The resulting amount difference will be the damage given to the enemy off their total HP. This will be demonstrated more during the battle screens. The agility stat represents the base speed of your hero and the reaction time to the enemy's attacks. The greater this stat, the less damage you can take versus enemy attack rolls in battle, or a greater chance of dodging enemies' attacks altogether. The stat number will be halved when armor and shields are equipped due to the fact that armor carries weight, thus reducing speed significantly. Maximum HP represents the maximum number of hit points allowed under the current level. When the hero levels up, the maximum number of hit points will increase. Maximum MP represents the maximum number of magic points allowed under the current level. When the hero levels up, the maximum number of magic points will increase. Attack power represents the amount of damage the weapon equipped can do in battle as added with the strength stat versus enemy defense to come to a resulting damage number from the resulting roll algorithm. Defense power represents the amount of damage absorbed from an enemy attack in battle and is added with the agility stat versus enemy attack to come to a resulting personal damage number from the resulting roll algorithm. Weapon represents the currently equipped weapon, armor represents the currently equipped armor, and shield represents the currently equipped shield. And that is pretty much it in a nutshell. Now, let's get on with the adventure. Okay, so we're gonna move. So we move in 4 directions, as you can see. Let's talk with the king one more time. When thou art finished preparing for thy departure, please see me. I shall wait. And if there's nobody there, there's no one there. Okay. Let's chat with this guard here. Dost thou know about Princess Gwylan? No. Half a year now have passed since the princess was kidnapped by the enemy. Never does the king speak of it, but he must be suffering much. RPG Capper, please save the princess. Well, considering what kind of a person the princess is, I don't necessarily want to save her, but I like to be thorough, so fine, whatever. Princess Gwylan, yes. RPG Capper, please save the princess. Okay, we're done speaking to them. East of this castle is a town where armor, weapons, and many other items may be purchased. Return to the inn for a rest if thou art wounded in battle, RPG Capper. Sleep heals all. Thou hast collected all the treasure chests, the key will be found. Once used, the key will disappear, but the door will be open and thou may pass through. So we're gonna see if they... See, right now they don't change their dialogue, but they change their dialogue a little bit later. So we're not gonna be bothering talking to them again at this point. So we're gonna search around here. RPG Capper searched around all about. There's a treasure box. And if you were to search like this, nothing. Alright. So we're gonna take what's in here. Of gold, Dal has gained 120. So we have 120 pieces of gold that is added to our purse. Let's see what's in this chest. Fortune smells upon the RPG Capper. Dal has found a torch. Alright, now let's go around the back here and take what's in this chest. Fortune smells upon the RPG Capper. Dal has found the magic key. Okay, we got the key. So now we can approach the door here, which is locked. So you can open the door either one of two ways. If you have a magic key already equipped, if you could just select door and the door opens, or you can select magic key from the item item inventory screen. But for the sake of simplicity, we'll just select door, and the door is open. So if you were to select door again, there's no door here. So now we're going to move over this staircase top. Now you can see you don't automatically go down the stairs. In order to go down the stairs, you have to bring up the menu and select the stairs option. And now you're finally down the stairs and in the courtyard of the castle. King Lork will record thy deeds in his Imperial Scroll, so thou may return to thy quest later. Thou art planning to take a rest? First see King Lork. There was a time when Brackenary was a paradise, then the Dragon Lord's minions came. Where can I find Princess Gwylan? So everyone in the castle is worried about the princess and the threat of the Dragon Lord, which is why we are tasked with accomplishing both the tasks of saving the princess and killing the Dragon Lord. When we're in here in the cave, take with you a torch, and we have one in our inventory, so we're good. Where can I find Princess Gwylan? Alright, moving down. RPG Capper's coming was foretold by legend. May the light shine upon this brave warrior. And you get a flash of light. Now this guy can restore your magic points when he casts the light, but we don't have any magic just about yet. So in order for us to use magic, we first need to level up. But that is not going to be for a little bit of a while, so let's not worry about that right now. Let's talk to these men. We are merchants who have traveled much in this land. Many of our colleagues have been killed by servants of the Dragon Lord. Rumor has it that entire towns have been destroyed by the Dragon Lord's servants. Now, as you can see, there's a locked door here. We have Dao is not a key to use. So we cannot use it. So unless we get a key, we can't enter that treasure room. To become strong enough to face future trials, thou must first battle many foes. Thou must have a key to open a door. When are you spoken to this guy? Welcome to Tantago Castle. Welcome to Tantago Castle. Okay. So, more or less, our job in the castle is finished. So, we see a town to the east, so let's move around here. So, we gotta be careful, because we can encounter enemies outside of the castle here. Fortunately, no encounters. So now we're entering the town the first town. Thou art most welcome in Brackenary. So this is the town of Brackenary. Welcome. Enter the shop and speak to its keeper across the desk. We do a weapons owner. Does thou wish to buy anything today? Yes. What does thou wish to buy? So here's your menu of the different items that you can actually buy with based on how much gold you have in your purse. So for now, we only have 120 pieces of gold, and we don't have any means of getting more unless we go out and fight monsters, which always have gold on them. But for now, we're gonna have to make our current purse work. So we can't really just overindulge in our spending. We need to be frugal here as we start out. So first we're going to invest in a bamboo pole. The bamboo pole, is that okay? Yes. I thank you. Now the bamboo pole is the first weapon you can equip in this game. It's not very powerful, but it should be sufficient enough to take care of the initial threats that are posed by us at this stage in the game. So we need to buy more. We got the weapon. Now we need some armor, but we don't have much in terms of armor, so we're gonna just buy some clothes. And we still need some more protection, so we're gonna get this here shield. Small shield, is that okay? Yes. Okay, and unlike other games where you have to go to a specific submenu to equip them, this game throws you a bone here. You automatically equip the whatever weapons or armor shield that you acquire or purchase. So we can confirm this by going to the status screen, and you can see now the weapon, armor, and shield slots are filled. Weapon, bamboo pole, armor, clothes, and shield, small shield. Now, we have to also pay attention to our stats here. Strength is 4, agility 4, attack power 6, defense power 8, which is incredibly weak, but it will build up considerably over time as we level up. So, now that we're fully equipped, let's continue talking to the locals. Go north to the seashore, then follow the coastline west until thou have reached Garenham. So Garenham's the next town to visit, but we don't need to go there immediately. So here's the inn. We can talk with this soldier here. Tell King Lork that the search for his daughter have failed. I am almost gone. Okay, poor guy. Let's just at least talk to the innkeeper here. Welcome, Child's like room and board is 6 gold per night. Does not want a room? No, because we don't have any money. Okay, goodbye, traveler. Let's talk to him. Art thou the descendant of Eredrick? Hast thou any proof? So here's a bit of a running issue with the game. Even though you're supposed to be the descendant of the great hero Eredrick, you do not have proof of your descent. And the people of the kingdom will look upon you with skepticism until you actually find your proof of descent. And the proof of descent is going to be needed in order to complete the game. You won't even be able to access the final dungeon unless you can prove your descent of the hero. So that will be very important later. So anyways, let's talk again with this soldier. No, I want to talk to this guy. Many have been the warriors who have perished on this quest, but for thee I wish success, RPG Capper. So yeah, at least this guy has faith in you. Let's talk with her. No, I'm not Princess Gwaelin. Yeah, it's a little kind of pretty much rushing to judgment, are we, Mr. Hero? Alright. Enter where thou can. So this is a tool shop. But unlike the tool shop in Fazanadu, it just really just sells like little trinkets and not full-fledged armor and weapons. That's kept in a separate shop. So here you can buy herbs which will recover your hit points, torch which allows you to see in dark caves, and dragon scale which provides a slight armor boost to your defense. But you do not, that was not enough money. It does not want anything else. I will be waiting for thy visit. So we're going to take a look over here. So it'll give you a slight defense boost to your overall defense power, but that's just it. It's only slight. You will not be able to earn higher defense stats. To that, you're going to need to buy more capable armor and plates later on throughout the game. But in order to do that, we're going to have to fight a lot of enemies. Within sight of Tanagal Castle to the south is Charlock, the fortress of the Dragon Lord, which we have seen earlier. That's the final dungeon. The Dragon Lord's castle. But we won't be approaching the Dragon Lord for a long time to come, so because remember, we're just startups. We have to build up our hero, or he's going to die. See King Lord when thy experience levels are raised. Alright? Let's talk to this guy. There's a town where magic keys can be purchased. That becomes important later. If thou art cursed, come again. And this is another unfortunate feature of this game. There are items you can collect which will put a curse on you, and when you are cursed, you're unable to enter the castle to see the king. Because only the king can save your progress. And if you can't enter the castle to save your progress, you're up the creek unless that curse gets removed. So the old man in gray that you see there can lift that curse. Anyways, let's talk to this guy. Please save us from minions of the Dragon Lord. Well, that's what we're gonna try to do, buddy. Beware the bridges. Danger grows when thou crosses. That's also important. Some regions of the kingdom are divided with bridges across rivers. And when you cross those bridges, you'll be facing off against higher rank and higher threat enemies. Unless your stats and levels are capable enough to handle them, you do not want to be crossing those bridges anytime soon. Watch thy hit points when the poisonous marsh. Yeah, there are poisonous marshes in the game, which will take away 2 points of health for every step you take, and it will remain like that until you get a certain piece of equipment which will allow you to become invincible in the marsh. But again, that won't be for a while. So it looks like our job in town is done for the time being. But okay, have we talked to this guy? Okay, experience level source. Okay, so we have all the information that we need. So let's take a look here. We got the bamboo pole, calls a small shield. So now we're gonna have to do a bit of hunting and face off against any of the enemies that surround the castle. And this is where we're gonna have to stay for at least a couple levels. Because, again, our hero's just a startup, and he's not ready to take on the bigger baddies of the Dragon Lord yet. Okay, so here's our first enemy. A slime. You have your command screen at the bottom, where it says a slime draws near, command. And you have 4 options: fight, spell, run, and item. Now, we're going to just explain this quickly. Fight engages the enemy that you see in front of you. When you make the decision to fight the enemy, you're given a chance to make a physical strike with the use of your strength plus weapon attack power stats versus the enemy's agility plus defense power stats. The result is determined by a dice roll algorithm. If the hit is successful, the enemy will flash red and a damage result numeral will appear in the window below. Then the enemy can take their turn to hit you with the results vice versa. Also, there are random chances of the enemy making a preemptive strike against you, meaning they can take the first hit against you before you can access your commands. This can be very dangerous if you're low on HP, so it's important to keep your HP up. Should you beat the enemy disappears from screen and you're rewarded with golden experience. Get enough XP, a victory tune will play and you'll level up and the overall stats will be improved slightly, thus making the hero just a bit more stronger. But, if the enemy successfully brings your HP down below 75% of your maximum, the screen turns red, or pink, symbolizing that you're about to die if you don't heal quickly. If your HP hits 0, you're dead and you'll have to be whisked back to King Lord's throne room to be resurrected, but at the cost of half of your gold. So if you care about your purse, just try not to die. Alright, the other options don't take as long to explain this fight, so let's move on. Run gives you an opportunity to flee from battle, but it's a 50-50 chance. You may succeed in running away, but you may not. However, if the battle is going really badly, it may be your only best option, especially in the face of a very tough foe. Now, spell. Let's take a look here. Spell allows you to access your magic spell list and select a magic spell to use in battle. The spell can either support you with a boost, or disparage the enemy, but spells in the end cost magic points to use, so we have to pay attention to our MP amount on the left to determine if we have enough magic points to cast a particular spell, as each spell has its own particular MP cost. Finally, item allows you to access your item inventory to see if a particular item can aid you in battle. Items can be purchased in the tool shop in town or looted from treasure chests, so it'd be a good idea to stock up on a particular item to help aid you in battle if things get hairy. Alright? That's enough explaining, so let's fight. Okay, just gonna bring this back up here. RPG Gabber cannot yet use the spell. Command. Torch. Okay, so now we're gonna engage the slime here. The first of many of Dragonlord's minions. Slime's hit point have been reduced by 1, so he takes 1 point of damage. He hits me for 1. Slime points tie, hit point decreased by 1. Command. We're gonna strike him again. Same result. And I hit him for 2. Thou hast done well defeating the slime. Thy experience increases by 1, thy gold increases by 1. So we've won our first battle, and we get our first reward. 1 experience point, 1 gold. Now that may be very measly, but over the course of the game we'll be dealing with enemies that can give us better payouts than this. But for now, this is what we're going to have to put up with until we get our first level up. So we're going to do a little bit more exploring and hunt down a few more slimes in the process. We're going to try for the hills, because hills tend to increase the encounter rate, but I believe that might also just be relative. But hills can also trip you up a bit, since as you see that you move a little bit slower than you do on the plains or the forest. Anyways, now we're dealing with the next enemy, a red slime, which is slightly stronger than a regular slime. Regular slimes are 3 hit points, red slimes have 4 hit points. But they also do the same amount of attack. Alright, let's... Okay, we got him for 2, that's not bad. Thy experience increases by 1, thy gold increases by 2. Okay, so red slimes give you the same experience payout, but they give you a little bit more gold. So, regular slimes 1.1 gold, red slimes 1.2 gold. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the slimes until level 2. In the meantime, we can explore a little bit of the surrounding area near the castle, but we do not want to stray too far, or we're gonna end up dealing with an enemy that we do not want to deal with. So you can see there's also some craggly mountains, which are inaccessible since they're too steep. Okay. Oh, excellent move. So that is a crit. When you roll a crit, your damage is doubled. So we managed to get 6 points of damage on that red slime. Anyways, we try to go to the mountains, we can't. They're inaccessible because they're too steep and craggy. There's a cave down there, but that cave cannot be accessed unless we go all the way around from the north and down from the west and then again down to through the south. So we'll be accessing that cave at some point, but for now we have to stick to the area that's just populated by slimes, which only goes up to this particular point, represented at the protrusion of the craggy mountains here. Alright, so we have enough gold to stay at the inn for 1 night. And we roll another crit. Okay, so things are starting off quite smoothly for us. But we need to meet our XP goal in order to level up. Okay, now that tune represents a successful level up. We've met our XP goals for this level, so now it's time to move on to the next level. Courage and Wit of Survey level. That has been promoted to the next level. Die power increases by 1. Die maximum hit points increased by 6. Okay, level 2 level 2 is achieved. And for all that, we have a purse of 11 pieces of gold and 7 experience. So let's check our stats for level 2. So we went up by 1 point for strength. Went up by 6 points for HP. And we got a little bit of an attack power and defense power boost as well. Okay. So we've had a good day of fighting, so let's go to town and rest up. Yes, please. Good morning, thou seemst to have spent a good night. I shall see thee again. Alright, so that's done. But we still do not have enough gold to buy some other gear or tools. So we're gonna fight more slimes today. Now, slimes are not going to come out immediately. So, there are some hills here to the south, but we may end up encountering an enemy we do not want to encounter. And this game, one of the game's biggest drawbacks is that it has a bit of a, not a bit, but a push your luck style of random encounter gameplay. So, depending upon the enemies you would choose to encounter later on, based upon how you're currently earning your points in gold, you, as the player, may end up being tempted to fight enemies just a little bit stronger so you can be guaranteed greater payouts. But that would be considered foolish, because you cannot. The enemies of the Dragon Lord are capable of finishing off very quickly if you do not have the proper stats, gear, and healing accessories or spells. I mean, the game really tempts you. In other words, the game tempts you to gamble, but that gamble will almost always involve you getting killed off. It's not recommended. So for now, I'm going to be looking at gaining 20 pieces of gold so I can buy a dragon scale. Which will help slightly bolster up our defense stat. Okay, we hit him for 3, and that really finished him off. Once you get strong enough, you can finish off certain minions of the Dragon Lord in one fell swoop. And we rolled another crit. So anyways, this is pretty much going to be the procedure until we get to level 3. And once we get to level 3, we can move a little bit past our boundaries and face off against some slightly stronger enemies. Sorry guys, those are my roommates out there. Okay, here's the first new enemy to face, the Draki. He's a little bit stronger, and certain Drakis can have a hit point with roughly between 8 HP, or even I believe 8 HP is their maximum hit points. But okay, here's the thing: we're not ready to face this guy yet. We're gonna run, so we have to stay in the comfort zone for a little bit, fighting slimes. So it shouldn't be too long to level 3. But we also need to get 20 pieces of gold so we can get ourselves a dragon scale and give ourselves that slight defense boost. Oh, and there's another thing I have to add. All the enemy encounters in this game are one-on-one. In later incarnations of this game, you will end up facing multiple enemies in one. You're going to end up facing enemies in a group. But you will also have party members with you. So the first game in the series only has like one hero, whereas future Dragon Warrior games have multiple heroes facing off against multiple enemies. So, yes. So it's just one-on-one battles for this particular game. Alright, so we have 24 pieces of gold, so we can now go and buy ourselves our first item. Alright, so let's go over here. Okay, let's take a look. So our defense power is 8. So if we were to equip this, RPG Capper join the Scale of the Dragon. So our defense power goes up by 2. So now we have a maximum defense power of 10 for the time being. But here's an interesting little bug that I've discovered. If you sell the Dragon Scale, your stat remains with the boost as if you've never taken it off. So it's a bit of an exploit. You clear up your inventory, you can make a little money on the side, and you keep your defense boosts. But so now we have 16 pieces of gold. And remember, whenever you sell your items in store, and this is also applied to Fazanadu, the shopkeepers that will buy all your items back at 50% of the original value. Because that is pretty much how it works in real life business to an extent. They'll be buy half off just so they can sell it, they can buy. Shopkeepers will buy at a discount so they can sell it at a premium. Anyways. Okay, the screen has turned red or pink, as if you want to interpret it, to signify that our hero is getting weaker. Which means this is a call for us to stop at the inn. But we defeated the slime. But at this point, it looks like we're only one more battle away from another level up here. Okay, so the slime missed. So this says when slime attacks a miss, no damage have been scored. Kill the slime. There's the tune, we've leveled up. Courage and lives really well, that has been promoted to the next level. Die power increases by 2, die response speed increases by 2. So response speed would be the agility in this case. Maximum hit points increased by 2, maximum action points increased by 6. Now let's learn a new spell. So we've learned the first new spell to gain heal. I am used to it, but here's the thing. Even though we've learned our first spell, we can't use it because we haven't increased our magic points, and that can only happen by staying at the inn and resting up. So the second day of battling the Dragon Lord's minions have come to an end through the use of the Dragon Scale and getting a new spell. So let's stay at the inn, recuperate. Anyone else is doing good? I shall see you again. Good. So here we have now Strength 7, Agility 6, Attack Power 9, Defense Power 11. So we actually got a bit of a defense boost from our last level up. And Spell Heal allows us to recover our hit points, but it costs 4 spell points to use this spell, so we have to use it carefully. Anyways, 14. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna move past our comfort zone and explore a little bit more of the land. And we can do a little bit more damage to the slimes now. So here's a cave where we're going to explore, and here's the drag cave as before. This time we're ready for him. Let's fight. Hit him for 2. He hits me for 1. I hit him for 3. Not bad. Okay, so he's dead, and this one dispenses 2 experience points and 2 gold for us. So he's a slightly bit stronger, but the rewards are slightly greater. But anyways, let's explore this cave first. As you can see, it's total darkness. So here's what we're gonna do. We gotta use the torch that we found earlier at the king's chamber. And we can explore now. Now, later on, we're gonna be given a spell that lets us see much more of the cave than ever before. But for now, our line of sight is restricted to 3x3 tiles. So here's a staircase. We'll go down. So let's see. So unlike other caves, there are no enemies in this cave, so at least we're safe to wander around in here. Okay, so the cave leads us to a dead end with a treasure chest. Let's see what's in the chest. Origin smiles upon the RPG capper. Thou hast found the tablet. The tablet reads as follows. I am Erdrick, and thou art my descendant. 3 items were needed to reach the Isle of Dragons, which is south of Breckenary. I gathered these items, reached the island, and there defeated creature great evil. Now I have entrusted the 3 items to 3 worthy keepers. Their descendants will protect the items until thy quest leads thee to seek them out. When new evil arises, find the 3 items, then fight. Okay, so we have some information from Erdrick based upon his last writings. We need to find 3 items in order to access the Isle of Dragons and enter the Dragon Lord's castle. And since there's no further reason for us to be in here, we're going to leave the cave. Okay, here it is. Okay. Okay, here we are dealing with another enemy, the Ghost. We have the heal spell, so it's now... we should be able to stand up to him. But Ghosts are a little bit more trickier to fight. They have an HP... okay, looks like they may have an HP of around 10. But I'm gonna need to check up the official bestiary stat to see how much they have. So this one gives you 3 experience and 4 gold. Other ghosts will just give you 3 experience and 3 gold, so we got a good payout from him. So now we have a little bit more gold. So here's what we're also going to do. I'm going to head back into town and buy up some of those delicious herbs. Now the herbs can also serve to restore your hit points as well, and are a good emergency supply for should you ever fall below 75% of your health and you don't have enough magic points to heal. So we're gonna talk. Oh no, 24. Sorry, that's my bad. I thought I had enough, but it turns out you need 24 pieces of gold to buy herbs. Alright, we're gonna go right back out and we're gonna continue the slaughter of the Dragon Lord's minions. Because that's what we do as a hero. And we make no apologies for it. Another crit. Dallas done well, defeating Red Slime. Down experience by increased by 1, gold by 2. Hello to the viewer that came in. We are playing Dragon Warrior for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The cap is 30. First stream of the session. Okay. So now I have enough to buy an herb, so let's go buy an herb. So we got our first major item that we're going to need to use, the herb. The torch only gets used once, and it can only be used inside a dark spot like a cave. So once the torch is gone, you have to replenish your torches afterwards by buying more of them in a tool shop. But torches will become obsolete later once we learn a special spell that allow us to light up the cave more often. Anywho, so here's the north shore of the Kingdom of Alefgard. And we'd have to go west to go to Garanham, but we're not ready for Garanham yet. There's an enemy over there that can finish us up in one fell swoop if we did so. So we need to build ourselves up just a little bit more. 3. Okay. So for the time being, we're just gonna stock up on herbs. It seems to be the easiest thing that we can purchase at this point in the game. We're not going to bother with any torches. Oh, and for the record, any experience you gain, you keep. There is no XP cost in the game should you at least fail in your mission and if you were to get yourself killed by the Dragon Lord's minions, you do not lose your XP. Any XP you gain, you keep for the duration of the game. It's only your gold that you lose should you die, because it's the fee that you pay to get yourself resurrected by the king. But we can't keep on killing slimes forever. We gotta start fighting some stronger enemies here and get the better payouts. So slimes are common encounters, but we can't deal with these common encounters forever. Alright, here's what I want to do. I'm going to demonstrate heal. So we're going to use this, RBG Capra Channel, the spell of heal. Brings us out back to the full of 22 HP. But we gotta... Nope, not that one. We want to... Okay, maximum HP is 23. So it doesn't restore your hit points to full, but pretty much it just only restores roughly like 20% of your HP for every use. Okay, well I'm gonna see if I can encounter another ghost here, since ghosts are very frequent encounters at this part of the game. Okay, so here's a bridge, and if you were to cross that, the encounter rate will change, and you will end up facing a lot against much more stronger enemies than you've encountered before. Hence what the soldier in town told you. Beware thy bridges, for danger grows when thou crosses. So we need to be more properly prepped before we cross those infamous bridges. So we're slowly starting to understand the gist of this game a little bit each time. Okay, Draki got the preemptive strike on me. And that is also quite common. Stronger enemies can and may give you may inflict a preemptive strike upon you, and if you're not strong enough, they could finish you off in one fell swoop. Okay, and enemies can dodge your attacks too. A failed attack roll will result in a dodge of your attack by the enemy. Alright, we reached the next level. Courage and Resistance now has been promoted to the next level. Die response speeds increased by 2, die maximum hit points increased by 6, maximum points increased by 10. Now let's learn a new spell. We got more spell points. Strength 7, agility 8, maximum 29, maximum MP 16, attack power 9, defense power 12. Hurt. So Hurt is a pretty interesting spell. It will inflict roughly 20% of damage on the enemy's maximum HP. On the enemy. But again, some enemies can also be very resilient to Hurt. So we have to use it wisely. That completes the day's work against the Dragon Lord's minions, and we're nicely healed up and raring to go. So 18 pieces of gold to start. We don't have 24 pieces of gold, so we have to go back out and grind some more. Okay, so now we're at level 4. So what we would want to do at this point is we also want to strive to earn more gold to get better weapons and better armor. Better weapons usually will increase the attack power that will, when added to your strength stat, will create more damage results against the enemy, thus leading to more one-hit kills. So we need to start encountering some more Drakies and Ghosts here, because we can't keep fighting slimes forever. It will start to get incredibly tedious. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. So here's what I'm gonna do. For this guy, I'm gonna launch the Hurt spell. It costs 2 magic points to use. Inflicts a good amount of damage, 11, so you get 3 points of experience and 4 points of gold. So this is a strategy we're gonna be adapting for the time being. Okay, we have enough gold to go buy another herb, so we're going down to buy some more herbs. And herbs can do a much better job recovering you than the heal spell. So depending upon the intake of the herb, you will probably be restored 30 to 40% of your HP, depending upon the roll. Okay, a lot of dodging and a lot of missing attacks. Alright, moving back to town. Okay, now we have 2 herbs. Now, the maximum amount of herbs you can have in your inventory is 6. And you always want to keep a full set of herbs on you at all times. You will never know when you're going to be facing off against that one enemy that will give you a hard time, but you absolutely need to defeat in order to get that payout. So we're going to strive to fight the ghosts again. We definitely need some better payouts at this point in the game, because we're now at level 4, there's no reason for us to continue fighting slimes. And I'll even dare say fight Drakes anymore. We need ghosts. Drakes are pretty agile. Okay, I have no idea why I can't hit him. Wow. I'm pretty much at level 4, I can only hit him for 1. That is... I'm not sure if that's a game bug or what, but that's an awful lot of failed rolls, my friend. Okay, too many... Okay, thank goodness, this is what I want to see. Okay, so the ghosts do have 8 HP then. And in this case, I would say that the Drakes then would have to have 6 HP. But I really need to consult that bestiary, because I'm pretty much pulling this stuff out of my head. Okay, so this seems to be the best spot to encounter ghosts. Okay, we got the next battle. We have some gold, so we can go buy another herb. So this is a bit of a lather, rinse, repeat process until we get ourselves a full set of herbs. But you know what? It's also a pretty good way to build up our XP meter, since we always need something to build up our XP meter with. Okay, we've got another ghost. Okay, now we're really raking in the victories here. The faster you can kill off the enemies, the faster you can level up. And the faster we can get this game done. Okay, now you can see that the encounter rate is starting to increase. Alright, time for another herb. That's 3 herbs. And the inventory cap for the herbs is 6. And we're getting some slowdown here. That's what happens when you get too many sprites on screen. Alright. So, while we're going to be doing this, since this is going to become a pretty frequent process, we might as well open up a topic of discussion. So, I did mention yesterday about being on the autism spectrum, and also about how it was pretty much important for me just to move out of my dad's place so I could pretty much have proper means of recuperating from all the mental distress that I've been suffering for all the years. And I just pretty much just want to say that I apologize if yesterday's discussion was a little bit heavy, but it was definitely something that I felt needed to be taken off my chest. And for all my viewers who are watching this, I sincerely hope you understand what I've been going through for the past 35 years of my life. So, again, I'm on the autism spectrum. I do have ADHD. I am a neurodivergent. And it is just something that I was born with. It's not something that I just chose to have one out of the blue just to troll my parents or anything. It's just, I mean, this is just something that it's just something that somebody like, all of us like on a neurodivergency, who are neurodivergents tend to be born with. Also, another thing I have to add is, I do have to apologize that my grammar is not good. It could very well be the result of me being on the autism spectrum, but it's also possibly the result that, sorry guys, I just have a very hard time coming up with the proper adjectives for the points that I tend to make at times, which was made apparent during my Fazanadu stream the other day. And I'm just asking everyone to please bear with me, because unless I usually have other people to converse with on chat or face-to-face, this tends to happen. Anywho, we're out of MP, so that is a call for us to get back into town and rest up. So we're almost in the triple figure range for our experience. But the requirements are getting harder and harder every level, because the cap goal, the XP goal raises level by level considerably. And it's one of the biggest drawbacks to this game is that it does become a major grind fest somewhere after level 10. But this is what I signed up for. This is RPG Capper is definitely on board to handle the repetitive, tedious tasks. But I will try to offset the tediousness of the grind with as much discussion as possible, so it doesn't feel like we're wasting time in here, and we're also feeling like we're not being overly bored with the process either. I'm well aware of what it feels like to be on the receiving end of this stream. Okay, we got ourselves another herb. We're resting up for the day. 4 herbs. 2 more to go. And then we'll have a full set to battle the Dragon Lord's minions full scale. So, getting back to my point here. Those of you who are on the autism spectrum, neurodivergence, let me just tell you, you're not alone. There are definitely people out there who do actually have similar conditions to your own, and they are willing to help you every step of the way. For the longest time, I honestly thought that someone like me in my mental health condition was ever going to be capable of being understood or being helped. That was pretty much the environment that I grew up in, and that's the mindset my own family inflicted upon me for the past 3 decades. And that kind of a mindset, that type of contempt, that kind of a difference for your condition, it's genuinely not cool, and it is something that can pretty much throw people into a state of anxiety and depression over. And I don't really care if this was really considered acceptable by the old cultures of the day. Sorry. It was wrong then, it's wrong now. But also I've always learned that there is always a light at the end of every dark tunnel. And it may not come to you immediately, but it will make itself known sooner or later. So, all of you on the autism spectrum, all of you who are struggling, don't give up. please do not give up. There is hope, and you do have a means of getting out of your situation. And by closing off that little speech, we level up to 5. Power increased by 5, response speed increased by 2, maximum hit points increased by 4, and maximum hit points increased by 4. So we didn't learn a new spell this time around. At least we still have heal and hurt. So, but there will be more spells learned over the course of the game. HP 22, MP 12. Alright. So, let's get around here. Okay, I want to have enough for another herb and for another stay inside the inn. So it's going to be 24 for the herb and 6 for the stay at the inn. Okay, so this ghost only had 7 HP to it. Or maybe had 6 HP. I'm not sure, because their maximum hit points tend to be randomized. Okay, we're gonna get another herb. We're going to stay at the inn. That's 5 herbs now. Alright, back out we go for another round of fighting. Can't tell if this is now the day 5 or day 6 of the campaign against the Dragon Lord. But you know what? Who's counting? I mean, you can spend as many times staying at the inn as you want, and it doesn't change the outcome of the Dragon Lord's current grasp on the Kingdom of Alfgard. So, we've reached triple figure experience. We're at level 5. We can do even more damage to Drakes now. Let's take a look. I think at this point we are ready to explore the town of Garenham. Okay, he only hit me for 1. That's good. And this was a 6-pointer, so he was okay. So they do have HP between 6 and 10. So the game does randomize the maximum HP of every ghost that you face. Okay, so how much would we have? We have 12 pieces of gold. So we go this way. Okay, that didn't fall the ghost, so we're gonna have to hit him physically. So here's... Okay, so here's the next town, Garenham. Well, we can explore this one for a bit. Garen, a wandering minstrel of legendary fame, is said to have built this town. What do they have? So they have herbs, and the prices have not changed. They remain consistent here. And so the price of herbs, torches, and dragon scales remain consistent throughout the kingdom. And that's another thing. All gear is basically has preset prices that remain consistent throughout the kingdom. You do not see different towns charging more for the same item, just because they're more distant from the capital. No way, Jose. King Lork had made it clear that, by his decree, all specific items must be fairly priced across the kingdoms. There is no free market in the Kingdom of Alfgard. Many believe that Princess Gwaelin is hidden away in the cave. Many believe that Princess Gwaelin... Okay, so we have a clue to the princess's whereabouts. So, the princess has been missing from the kingdom, gone 6 months. believed to be stored away in the cave. I've heard of one named Nestor, does now know such one. Can't say I have. Here's the armory. Okay, so here's another menu of items to buy. And it's a lot more pricier than the one that you've seen in Breckenary. But that's because they have different items that you cannot get in Breckenary, like a hand axe, chainmail, a large shield, and a half plate. So we were not going to be able to buy any of those items right now, but we'll be buying them later. Welcome to Garenham. May thy stay be a peaceful one. It is said that the princess was kidnapped and taken eastward. Let's read that again. Okay, the princess was kidnapped from the castle, gone 6 months, taken eastward, and stored in a cave. So now we have more clues to the princess's whereabouts. Okay, we do not have keys, so we can't enter that big building right there. Let's see how much they charge for in-stay. 25 pieces of gold? Get out of town. Maybe I might come back when I have a fatter purse, but not here, bud. Okay, here's our next new enemy, the Magician. These guys are dangerous, because these guys can cast spells that can inflict damage upon it, namely the Hurt spell. So we're gonna have to put the Hurt on him first. And we felled him. 12 damage, gives me 4 experience and 10 pieces of gold. Okay, with that, we can actually return to Garenham and buy another herb. But there's more of an encounter rate over here. But you know what? That's fine. We need the extra XP for that. Okay, let's go back in here. And the NPCs are a pain in the ass, because they'll only move when they want to move. You can't shove them out of the way, like in Final Fantasy. Okay, 6 herbs. So that completes our full inventory of herbs. But we are going to need more items down the road. So now we're going to be looking at boosting our gear, because there's only so much you can use the bamboo pole, the clothes, and the small shield before it gets really out of hand. So we need to start building up that gold purse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay here in the northwest corner of the kingdom and continue facing off against the enemies here, because now we are capable of taking them on. And we can fall them with one hit, and that's what we're gunning for. We want to make sure we can one hit these guys, so we can get our rewards that much faster. So there's another bridge that leads to the next area of the kingdom. But again, we don't cross that because there's even more powerful enemies across that bridge. We need to stick to where we are right now until we get at least a nice boost of equipment. Alright, so we do have another 24 pieces of gold, but now I'm going to show you what happens when you try to buy more herbs. 12 points of damage, yes. Bring on those crits. Thou cannot hold more herbs. Does not want anything else. No. So that's it. 6 herbs is the maximum we can take in our purse. Or at least in our bag of holding. we still have enough HP, so we're not in any major danger of being felled by any of the Dragon Lord minions, provided that we stick to our comfort zone. Diabetes the Second has joined the Kappa group. Diabetes the Second, thanks very much for your joining. Welcome to the Soda Dimension, where we cap RPGs and make drinks for a living. Glad to have you on board. How are you doing, man? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go and fight some more of those magic men. Doing alright, lunchtime. Cool beans. Let's take a look. It's almost lunchtime for me, but all I had for breakfast this time around was a banana. How's the DW? It's going pretty good. Started a new file, and right now I'm current level 5, and now just gonna be grinding the purse so I can at least get some of the better equipment, as you can see. Now, like, in terms of food, all I've had was a banana for breakfast, so now I'm just gonna... Once my roommates finish their cooking, then I'm just gonna get some lunch, then I need to probably make a quick run at the store just to buy some ingredients. Anyway, let's get this guy to... Uh-oh. Okay, so he cast his hurt spell on me, and you can see how much of that it takes off of my hit point meter. So I'm just explaining this for the people who are going to be watching this on VOD later on. So we're going to use heal. But now he hits me back. Anything special about the playthrough is capping maxing out. That is exactly what it is. Capping is going to be maxing out the level. The level cap is 30 for this game. So that's pretty much the gimmick of the channel. We cap RPGs here to show that it can be done. And it is a hobby of mine. I just like doing it. But what I strive to do is, I pretty much strive to cap RPGs in the most quick and efficient manner as possible. Because there is a major backlog of RPGs that I have on hand that I'm going to be going through throughout the course of the stream. So if you taking a look at the channel, right now I've only finished one action RPG, which is Fazandor Vaxanadu, as other people like to call it. There's only like 2 streams there, and honestly, I was only like starting out. This is still pretty much a new channel. I mean, it's been around for about a year, but it's only just recently have I started streaming. And I got myself a brand spanking new laptop just a couple weeks ago as a Christmas gift, and got everything configured, got the OBS configured, I got pretty much VTube Studio configured, and there are some kinks in it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, myself as the Cap here has some very strange behaviors that to this day I have no idea how to fix. I mean, I've looked upon the tutorials to see how I can fix my movements and stuff. I can't blink, because if I tried blinking, I end up getting a lazy eye, and it looks extremely weird when it happens. So I can't blink. I just have to disable blinking. And yeah, and so hopefully over the course of the next few months, I'm going to be able to improve my little model and make him look much more proper, more refined, and even add a few more expressions. Have some more things he can hold aside from this little controller here. Because at some point I might even want to have to use a keyboard. Just don't blink in real life, problem solved. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to have to run to the nearest medicine cabinet and grab, like, a monster-sized bottle of Visine and just gush it all over my eyes every minute on the minute. But, thankfully I don't feel like my eyes are drying out. At least I hope they're not drying out. No. If they were drying out, I'd feel it. Okay, so I have to take an herb. Here's what I'm probably gonna... Let me take a cool. So I'm on 26... let me tell... Oh, yeah, now I know what I want to do. So I want to just upgrade my weapons right now. So I'm gonna go down to the weapon and armor shop here. And switch off from the bamboo pole. And get ourselves a nice club. And when you do that, the shopkeeper graciously buys your old weapon back at 50% of the original cost. And of course, the game automatically equips you. So now you have the club. It goes a small shield. So with that being said, it was a good day for grinding. So let's rest up at the inn. Get ourselves nice and rest up and get back into the action. Alright. So what are you having for lunch, if you don't mind me asking? Let's just go down here and start clubbing a few slimes. 6 points of damage. Not bad for a start. Okay, let's see how I can club this ghost. 5 points of damage is not too bad, and I get 2 points in return. So now I can two-shot the ghost. But I might not be getting rid of the hurt spell just about yet. Okay, at least I can now one-shot the Drakis. But I still gotta deal with those magicians. So this is gonna be the start of many Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior streams, because there is a massive catalog of the games in this franchise, and this is pretty much the first of the US releases for the game, which was, like, the original Japanese is called, original Japanese title is Dragon Quest, but said because due to a concern about the name being owned by TSR yes, because TSR pretty much owned the name to Dragon Quest at the time. Nintendo got nervous, they didn't want to risk a lawsuit by Gary Gygax, so they pretty much just had to change it to Dragon Warrior. And for the record, I like the name Dragon Warrior. I actually think it was a pretty clever renaming of the game for the time. Until, let's see, around 2002 or 2003. I don't know when the 8th game came out for the PS2, but all I could say was that the copyright was no longer in effect, so therefore they could now call it by its original title, Dragon Quest. Even though I still, as a personal preference, like Dragon Warrior. But that's just me. If people want to call it Dragon Quest, they can call it Dragon Quest. If you want to call it Dragon Warrior, call it Dragon Warrior. It's all cool. Anyways, let's take a look. My ham and cheese sandwich with some fruit, trying to be better about this stuff. Yeah, when I was living with my dad, I mean, that's pretty much what we had for breakfast. Like a ham and cheese sandwich, and some fruits, and some vitamins. Also with a cup of coffee. But now I'm just trying different types of things for breakfast. I mean, my roommates here just prep me some different breakfasts a day. I mean, yesterday, they weren't up to making breakfast, so I just had to get myself some Doritos, some Cool Ranch Doritos, and a cup of coffee. And, that was all I could really have for breakfast, and unfortunately that just caused my brain just to shut down partially, in terms of the thought process. I mean, not shut down to where I need to be rushed to hospital kind of shut down, I just wasn't able to think clearly yesterday, and somehow how I managed to cap out for Xanadu with how I was feeling yesterday is beyond me, because I just couldn't put two words together without stumbling over anything, without stumbling over like other adjectives and shit. Anyways, let's just take care of this guy. Okay, so he's gonna hit me. He can actually, Magician can physically hurt you, or he can cast hurt. Like, he'll physically hit you or cast a hurt magic. Pardon my adjectives. Anyways, 204 XP. Let's see, we have 5 herbs. I'm not in the danger zone because the screen turns pink when you get in the danger zone. So let me just take a look. 204 XP, so it looks like we may have another 96 more XP to go before we can go to the next level. Anyways, how are you enjoying your sandwich? I mean, is it just like your standard store-bought ham? Do they at least... store-bought ham, brick cheese and all that, the cheap stuff, like cheese slices. We got to really think. I mean, honestly, I definitely would really love to have the kind of breakfast that they serve in those nice brunch restaurants, where you can get like some nice specially prepared eggs, like with the hot sauce and the mushrooms. Well, we're talking about the good omelets here. Like we're just talking about the eggs Benedict with that delicious hollandaise sauce. Nice good omelets. I love a good Mexican omelet myself, which actually just has a good some good ground beef peppers, mushrooms, and some hot sauce on top. Oh, that's good stuff. Also, I happen to be even though I like to delve into drinks, I'm also happen to be a good foodie myself. I love good food, and I'm always willing to try out good food any step of the way. Honestly, I'm also not sure what I'm gonna have for lunch myself. Well, I have to see what my roommates are gonna prepare. I mean, they do everything in the kitchen, and one of my roommates is an excellent cook. So Diabetes the Second, I believe I might have seen you somewhere else. Were you by any chance on the Dragon Warrior Randomizer stream channel? Nothing crazy was spoiled a bit by holiday leftovers prepared in creative ways, but this is just daily slices. Just a bit much. Oh, that's cool. Okay, I can't get cocky here because this guy can kill me in one fell swoop, considering my current leveling. Considering my current level, that is. And speaking of level, we've leveled up. Okay, no new spell. So, and we are too low on MP to cast heal, so we gotta get the heck out of there. At some point as a player comment, you're most likely I'm an enemy there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the randomization challenge at any point, because, again, this is a brand spanking new stream for Twitch. So, I just want to at least get the vanilla stuff out of the way first before I decide to delve into all the random stuff and all the hacks and any other speed challenges that people might actually want to throw at me, because I got to get my feet wet in the world of RPG capping first or maybe just standard role playing in general before I'm just going to start delving into the crazy stuff. Okay, so anyways, we're pretty much leveled up, so let's save. Well, I mean, let's rest up first. I have to save with the king. I shall see thee again. Okay, speaking of saving, I think now would be a good time to save and before we get back in the action, because we haven't saved once, and here's how you save. For anyone who's just experiencing this game for the very first time. First, we gotta go back to the castle and speak with King Lork in his throne room. But here's another thing we want to also just bring up. The guards change your dialogue here. A word of advice. Save thy money for more expensive honor. Sage advice. Listen to what people say. It can be of great help. And let's see what he has to say. Okay, so he doesn't change his dialogue about Princess Gwyland. So anyways, let's talk about our adventures today with the King. I'm greatly pleased that Dallas returned RPG Capper before reaching that next level experience. That must gain 225 points. So the growth curve increases significantly with every new level. So that's something we have to keep ourselves aware about, which is why we have to start facing more stronger enemies in order to offset the tediousness of the grind. Well, that'll tell me if the IDs so they won't be forgotten. Yes. The IDs have been recorded on the Imperial Scrolls of Honor. And that's just this game's cute way of saying, I'm saving your game. We're recording your deeds on the Imperial Scrolls of Honor. Going to do a quest. Yes, because we're going to be going for another half hour. Goodbye now, RPG Capper. Take care and tap out. It's cool. At some point about... Okay, Randall opens up a whole new can of worms. Probably doesn't fit the theme here, still very fun to try on your own or another channel. Yeah. Good. Thanks for that advice there, Diabetes. Yeah. So I guess at some point I'll pretty much try a rando to see how it fares. And if it ends up offing me one time too many, then maybe it wouldn't be a good idea for the stream, unless people want to get a good masochistic, unless people get some good sadistic glee in seeing me get killed over and over and over again on screen, and me being the masochist would have to just endure it for everyone's amusement. Oh yeah, and when you raise your levels past a certain point, weaker enemies will make an attempt to flee from you, and this will become much more frequent as the game progresses. So we are going to just go... So it's likely I'm just going to go up one more level today before I'm just going to call it a session, since it is also almost lunchtime in my neck of the woods. I'm pretty much... my real-life equally voiced counterpart lives in Canada, and it's also... And he's in the central time zone, so he's got another 20 more minutes to go before he has to go for lunch. So we're in the Central Standard Time Zone in Canada. Just to let you know. Presumably the min-max command capping is intended to leverage glitches exploits. See, that's an interesting way to put it. If I'm going to cap RPGs, I mean, if there is an existing glitch that I could do so that doesn't really come off as cheating, by the way, I guess I could exploit that, but it could create a debate with the community that will end up determining whether it would be considered a proper means of capping, I don't know, I mean, it is also something that might actually end up being exploited well, I wouldn't call it a glitch for that particular game, but in Final Fantasy VI, you can get a particular relic known as an experience egg, which doubles the amount of experience you can get per battle. And if you were to reduce your party, amount per battle, you can have all of that experience pulled towards you, so you can level up much faster. And, the chest glitch in this game, for example. Okay, well, yeah, that is something that could be exploited, but you know what? The only exploit I really did in this game so far was the Dragon Scale exploit, where you get a Dragon Scale at the beginning of the game, you equip it, and then you sell it, and then your defense stats do not reduce. They just stay as they were, as if you've never taken the Dragon Scale off in the first place. That is a glitch that I'm well aware of, and I've decided I am going to exploit that because that leaves more room in my inventory to get more stuff. And yeah, so let me see, level 6, okay, we have 118 pieces of gold. We were so busy talking that I stopped paying attention to the gold accumulator here on the left, but once I actually get a little bit more, okay, I believe at this point I can now go up, yeah, I think I should be able to go upgrade my armor now, because all I have on me are just regular clothes. The shield will have to wait, because the next shield upgrade is not until 800 pieces of gold. So I'm just gonna head back into Brackenary here for a bit. And as you can see, we're one hit killing our enemies left, right, and center, so it makes for easier grinding. Okay, so we already got the we already sold off the pole, we got the club. Copper sword is a little while away. Clothes we have, small shield we have, so we're getting into the leather armor. Okay, so we get a check. We got the club, leather armor, and small shield. Okay, so the next goal will be for 180 pieces and to collect the copper sword. So as we gradually accumulate more gold, we gradually have the means to buy better equipment. Okay, the one... At some point in this game, I'm gonna have to encounter a metal slime. And metal slimes give you the best payouts, since they can give you a whopping 115 XP in payouts, provided that you can successfully defeat them in time, because they are cowards. They can and will flee from battle first opportunity. But they can also try to hit you with hurt magic as well, just to defend themselves. They only have an HP of 4, but if you successfully defeat one, you can get 115 XP in experience. Now, but here's the thing. Even if you really get the strongest weapon in the game, which is Erdrick's sword, there is still no guarantee that your attack will be successful enough to hurt them. So you could still have a failed attack. And it is one of the most annoying parts of the game, because you should not have failed attack rolls when you have the strongest weapon in the game, but apparently Enix developers thought otherwise. Also, interesting thing here about Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior is that it had multiple platform releases. So this game, I've learned, was also released for the MSX, and I think there's also a version for the PC-88, if I'm not mistaken. And also, there's a demake of this for the Intellivision console, which was fan-made. A fan-made demake for the Intellivision. And at some point, I wouldn't mind giving that game a try. That version of this game a try. Since I've heard that it's been getting a lot of praise by the Intellivision community. Oh, pardon me. And he's casting the hurt. He's putting the hurt on me, so I now have to put the hurt on him. And it didn't fall him. Alright. Okay, so now we're back in triple figure. I should be able to have enough money at some point to get a copper sword and switch out from the club. So, once we get to level 7, we're gonna call session for today. Because I do need to get some lunch, and my roommates are up and out about, and they are... oh, shit. Hang on. No, I am not You gotta be kidding me. You have got to be... No, I don't want to face off against scorpions right away. They were not even supposed to appear till after the bridge. Okay. Things are getting a little dangerous, so I'm gonna consume another herb. So I'm gonna get... Now I'm gonna put put the hurt on him. Maybe Tommy Tallarico can work with them to make an Intellivision Amico version. Oh my god, don't get me started about Tommy Tallarico. I've watched that guy so many times on the old Electric Playground TV show back in the day. Him, I believe his co-host was named Victor Lucas. They used to shit on a lot of games that did not deserve to be shat upon. And I get it. It's their show, they can say what they want. It is a free country, First Amendment, the whole 9 yards. But I think some games that they were slamming just didn't deserve what they got. I mean, there were a few things on the reviews on the run part that I agree with, and some that I just also did not agree with. I figured you might have more of a reaction as a Canadian because, well, I don't know. You know what? Maybe it is the Canadian in me, but you know what? That's just how I looked upon it. But I'm sorry. I just cannot stand Tommy Tallarico. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's an excellent music composer for video games. I mean, come on. I mean, Earthworm Jim. Now that soundtrack slaps, no matter how many times you hear it. But if you're gonna use your successes from that soundtrack and other soundtracks, like even the PS1 Spider-Man game, as a means of bolstering your ego and telling people what they should, what they can, and cannot think about certain video games, just because you're a co-host of Electric Playground, I mean, well, you shouldn't be surprised if people are just going to look upon you in a very disparaging fashion. And I'm trying to be as very fair in this viewpoint as I possibly can. I mean, personally, I personally do not like Tommy Tallarico, but I can respect his work. And I'll give him that. Okay, so where are we at right now? 142 pieces of gold, 294 experience points. I need some more magicians. Okay, honestly, I'm getting kind of annoyed with all these slimes just coming in my way. I need to have some magicians and ghosts. Okay, so we're gonna just need at least another... Okay, that's what I wanted to see. So we're gonna put the hurt on him. He puts the hurt on me. And I'm gonna put an even bigger hurt on him with a club. I'm gonna club him over the head and steal his wallet. Okay, so we're now at the 300 mark for experience. Okay, well, while we're waiting to get our purse up to the necessary 180 so we can get ourselves a nice brand spanking new copper sword, let's just take a look at some other stuff. Aside from... Here's another thing I would also like to let you know, Diabetes, in a second. I have a confession. I have not played any Dragon Quest game past the first Dragon Warrior for the NES. I haven't even played Dragon Warrior 2, 3, and 4 for the NES. This is the only Dragon Warrior / Quest game I've ever really played. And I'm familiar with it, because I've been playing it for years. Because here's the thing, Dragon Warriors 2, 3, and 4 were as rare as hen's teeth in where I was living. You just don't see them very often in stores, and when you do see them, they are pricey. Not even the video rental stores wanted to carry Dragon Warriors 2, 3, and 4. And I can understand why, because the first Dragon Warrior game was mass-produced by Nintendo in the day, just as a means of providing players with a nice little role-playing adventure, but this game flopped in sales, and instead of Nintendo wanting to commit an ET-style situation, where they would basically scrap all the cartridges and send them to some landfill in New Mexico, they decided they were going to include the game for free with subscribers to Nintendo Power. And I honestly thought that was a very clever way for them to offload all the surplus copies of the game at the time. They didn't have to be thrown in the dumpster or in the landfill. You just give it to subscribers of your Nintendo Power magazine, and let people form their own opinion of the game. I mean, honestly, for a free game, this is honestly not too bad. I mean, believe me, I've played shittier RPGs. I've played some really shitty RPGs in the past. And this is honestly not even close to those types of RPGs. I mean, the game can make you want to gamble by facing off against stronger enemies that are in excess of your stats. But in all honesty, it also gives you a fair means of building up your stats accordingly, provided you have the patience for it. Because to do excessive grinding, I mean, grinding one level could take you an hour, give or take. Anyway, let me just take a look here. I have the money for the copper sword, so I'm going to buy the copper sword now. Alright, so I bought the copper sword, and that's about it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop at the inn because we've had a good day of grinding. Okay, let's check our stats. We have attack power 26 with strength of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, 16. So 42 total So 42 total attack with the support of the copper sword. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, people. So it doesn't take long to actually get the gear that you need to help start kicking ass and taking names. So we still have a bit of ways to go to the next level. So like I said, I'm gonna end this session when we get to level 7. Okay, with the copper sword, I'm a little bit more confident now to cross the bridge and face off against the stronger enemies. So we're gonna cross our first bridge and move into the eastern zone here. Patience is key to seemingly required grinding is very tedious. Later reports of this and then later games generally I think did a better job balancing that. Yep. Yeah, so we're talking old school Nintendo. I mean, the Nintendo where they make you work for your reward. The kind of, our princess is in another castle, Nintendo. That era of Nintendo. And back in the day, I mean, kids, well, they raged on the games. They raged hard. And I will confess that I was one of those kids in the day. But we still stuck it out. I mean, at the end of the day, these are games with prettier graphics compared to the old systems like the Atari 2600 or the Intellivision. And you know what? I don't want to throw shade on the Atari 2600 and the Intellivision because for their time they were actually pretty damn good consoles too. Patient. Yeah, so you do need to have a bit of patience to have to deal with the games later. But like I said, in order to offset the tediousness of the grind, I want to just get some good conversations going as well. So that at least when we're just discussing random stuff, at least then we can when we finally reach our grind goal, we'll have talked about whatever we needed to have talked about by that point. Okay, we got hit for 9. I'm gonna take a swing. And that was a gamble, but I have the copper sword now, so I should be able to dish out even more damage. Okay, so we are in the pink screen, so we're gonna cast heal. Okay, I'm gonna do another heal chant. There we go. Because I actually do consider herbs very valuable, and I resort to herbs if my MP gets too low. Here's another bridge, but that causes more of the stronger enemies to appear, such as the magic drakes and God forbid the skeletons. Those skeletons will make short work of you if you are not well equipped. Okay, let's take care of this ghosty here. So now we no longer need to make use of the hurt spell to hurt the ghosts, but I may have to still resort to use the hurt spell just to take care of the magicians until we get to level 7. Yeah. So oh man, the kitchen is starting to smell pretty good now. So I'm starting to get a little bit famished. But you know what? I can still stick it out till level 7. It's not a big deal, and I'm actually making some good gains. Got some good equipment. So yeah. So now I want to just check the inventory wares in Garenham to see what the next gold goal is. So, Dubious II, what do you actually just do for a living, if you don't mind me asking? Whereabouts are you in the U.S.? I mean, my real-life equally voiced counterpart is based in Winnipeg, but the character of RPG Capper exists in his own little dimension called the Soda Mansion, where the CO2 bubbles never stop rising, and we just we play games and make drinks for a hobby. Okay, so we already got the copper sword, we got the leather armor. The next piece of equipment we could get is the chainmail, but that's 300. Okay. Well, I'm not too worried about that. 80 pieces of gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replenish my herbs. Okay, we got 6 herbs and we're raring to go. Okay, so now you can see it's much more easier for us to earn gold, since now we're facing off against better enemies who will dispense more gold than ever before. 22. We crit for 22. Go me. You know what? Maybe this time I'll try to face the scorpion, because now I'm a little bit more confident now that I have the copper sword. And our gold is going up significantly. Let's just move a little bit past the bridge so that we can at least face off against... Oh, snap. Snappity snap, snap, snap. See, that's what happens when you gamble. But you know what? I guess I'm just gonna gamble. The game will do that to you. It is definitely... Dragon Warrior has a very strong push your luck element to it. And King Lorik does chastise you for this. He says, good luck and tempt not the fates. And boy, howdy did we tempt the fates when we played this game. Okay, no slimy slimes. I need the magic people. I want the magic guys. You're in Kentucky. Kind of transitional phase, doing independent consulting in my field, but not especially liking spending as much time looking for roles as actually fulfilling them. Economy not exactly fair. Yeah, the economy is also not exactly favorable that I've seen. I mean, we'll have to see what happens when Trump gets into power and he establishes his cabinet and everything, but I mean, I don't really want to delve too deeply into politics here, but all I can say is I'm just hoping things will be better for you guys down the States, and everyone will start to will have a good beneficial economy. I mean, that's all I'm really going to say about this, because I really don't want to see anybody have to struggle to survive in any country or in any economy for that matter. I mean, I know how it feels like to struggle. I mean, my roommates here, they had to apply for disability, but you know what? They're not just sitting around collecting checks. I mean, they actually have their own thing here. They do some. They're masterful artists. They're masterful cooks. They prepare They actually prepare some nice hot chocolate bombs for customers. They prepare jewelry, and as of myself, I mean, pretty much aside from the fact that I also spend a good hobby like recapping RPGs and all. I'm currently, unfortunately, I had lost a job recently, so I do need to start looking for work. So these streams are going to be looked upon as a side gig for me for the time being. I mean, if anyone actually likes my stream, there is the coffee link in the upper left corner, and if you're free to donate if you like. I'm no pressure. Yeah, better for us is better for you, and vice versa. Don't care who gets credit, just do the right thing. Yeah, that's true. That's true. At this point, we just want people to get by, and actually, and have someone to look forward to in life. That's it. Because, you know, it's even harder for me because I am on the autism spectrum, and since I have ADHD and I'm of the neurodivergent crowd. I mean, it does make it difficult for me to find work, but my roommates are helping me out. I mean, we have an employment services center downtown that is willing to take me in. I'm pretty much going to be going down. I'm going to be heading down there to see what I can find. And see what comes out of it. And if I can actually find a good job, well, good. Then I will focus on a job. But by doing so, my own streams will pretty much be reduced as a result. I'm gonna try to stream for at least 3 times a week. Well, no, 3 times a week is actually, I would not say least, the most would be better, because anything above 3 times a week is a little excessive in my view, since I also have to take care of other things. I mean, I have to help around the house, I gotta do some shopping for the roommates, I gotta do some cleaning. We have a few pets around here. We have 3 cats and 2 dogs. I have to visit my dad every week just to help him with some things around his house. He needs to. It's the middle of winter. We gotta shovel the driveway. Have to help him with shopping. I gotta deliver his bills because, unfortunately, his bills are being redirected to my house. When I specifically told the post office downtown that they have to, under my name, the bills have to come to this address and not to my dad's address. But they end up, my dad's bills come to my house anyway, because the clunkheads who run the post office downtown can't discern the difference between somebody with a middle name or not. Because I have a middle, both my dad and I have the same first and last name, but the difference is I have a middle name and he doesn't. And I had to explain this to the clerk 3 times in a row, that any posts any letters, bills, and other ads that are directed towards me should only come to this address if it shows that that there's a middle name in my name. My dad does not have a middle name; he has a first and last name. So if there's only a first and last name, it goes to my dad's address. If there's a middle name, then it has to go to my address. That's pretty much it. But unfortunately, Canada Post is unable to put 2 and 2 together. I'm sorry to have to dox them like that, but that's just it. I mean, and I'm sorry, it is frustrating for me. It is frustrating for me because I was under the impression that by explaining to them, like, at least 3 times in a row, that they would pretty much get the message that they would send the proper letters and bills to this address, because there's a middle name to my name. And for the ones that do not have a middle name, they have to go to my dad's address. So, as you can see, I'm getting my dad's letters, I'm getting his bills. I recently got his Christmas card in the mail by my sister, so I have to make a stop at his house by this coming weekend to hand-deliver that Christmas card to him and any other bill that ends up coming his way. Last week, I had to deliver the electric bill to him. And now this week it has to be a Christmas card and possibly any other letter that's directed to him. So you can see how fun the postal service is. Oh, snap. You know what? I'll use an herb. Big deal. Let me see how good this copper sword. It only hits him for 6. Okay, but at least I 2-shot him, so that's not too bad. But I still want to be able to get to the next level goal before I stop today's leveling session. Also, there is an announcement I do need to make before I leave today's stream. So, if Diabetes II, if you're still here, just stick around just a little bit more, and I'm gonna make that big announcement. But first, I just need to finish this current objective, which is to get to level 7, and just save the game. Okay, we got the Magician. 10 points of damage, that's good. By the way, are you able to hear my microphone quite well? Diabetes. I mean, can you also hear the game audio quite well? That's important because I had to put it to negative 30 decibels for the game audio, and it's a full 0.0 decibels for my microphone. Oh my goodness. It's red slime after red slime after red slime. I want Ghost Magicians, man. That's more like it. Thank you very much, Mr. Game. Mr. Game, don't hurt me. Okay, thanks very much for that view. Mic is pretty clear and well balanced with the game audio. That's good. That's all I wanted to hear, because I wasn't really sure what... The game audio's a little quiet on my end, but I think... But if you can hear it just fine, that's all that matters to me. Alright, we should be just on the verge of leveling up now. Ah, that's the classic tune I want to hear. 2, 7, 2, 2, learn new spell. Sleep. That is a good one. Sleep will disable the enemy temporarily, so that the point that they cannot make a physical or magical attack on you while you're capable of making physical and magical attacks on them. This is a very good spell. It only costs 2 magic points to use. So it's also very MP efficient too. So for starters, let's just replenish our supply of herbs. Alright, now we're gonna rest up at the inn and go see King Lurk and end the game for today. Good night. Alright, so we are heading now to the King's Castle. Talk with the King and save our progress. Is there anything? Nope, that's about it. Alright, we'll go. I'm greatly pleased that I was returned RPG Capper version of this level of experience. Now must gain 348 points. Only ID'd so they won't be forgotten. Yes, studies will be part of Imperial Scrolls of Honor. Does thou wish to continue that quest? No. Rest in for a while. Please push reset, hold in, then turn off the power. If you turn the power off first, the free Imperial Scroll of Honor containing your deeds may be lost. Ah, the old infamous hold reset while you turn power off to save your progress issue that plagued many NES cartridges back in the day. Well, alright. Alright, everybody. Thanks very much for being a part of today's RPG Capper stream. Diabetes II, it was fantastic to have you here. I really do appreciate you being here. Now, I did promise a big announcement before I was going to end today's stream, so just give me a sec while I load up the necessary background. Let's just get rid of that. You guys didn't see that. Alright. So, the big announcement here is I'll be participating in the first ever Jankuary Gaming Festival. This festival has been established by emulation legend Zophar of Zophar's Realm and Cobra Commander. So what Jankuary is about is, it's a week-long, as you can see, a week-long festival of your favorite Twitch streamers playing the jankiest retro games on Earth. And it's going to be running from January 18th to 26th, and yours truly has signed up for the event. And what game are we going to be playing for Jankuary? Well, we're about to find out. We're going to be playing Hydlide for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Widely considered to be one of the jankiest action RPGs ever made. Hydlide here takes you on the role of Jim the hero as he strives to save Fairyland from the evil demon Veralis and rescue Princess Anne, who's been split into 3 fairies by the evil demon. Now, the game is well known for its infamy by the retro community. Aside from its inexcusably 10-second repetitive tune that plays throughout the game, you also have to contend with the fact that the RNG hitbox detection is extremely cheap. An enemy can hit you 1 or 2 times and you'd be dead. And then after that, you just have to start up from the previous save. That's the unfortunate gist of it. But I've been practicing this game for the past week, and I believe now I've already have the means of I believe I now have the means to finally win the game despite the really lousy RNG hit detection and the infamous music. So, Sunday, January 19th, 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, we are going to be diving into this game. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be fun. And I mean that in the fattest quotations possible around fun. So anyways. Okay. Alright, anyways. Thanks very much, everybody, for being part of today's stream. I'm gonna see you back here again on Thursday, where we're gonna tackle the next session for Dragon Warrior, towards the ultimate goal of capping the game at level 30. I hope you'll be able to join me by then. Now, before we leave, I'm going to see if any of my usual friends are also online for a potential raid. So just give me one quick second here. Okay. Well, apparently it doesn't appear that my usual friends are online right now, so it looks like we're just gonna have to do a standard closure. I don't seem to know, or maybe I could try. No, hang on a minute. Maybe we could try and try and raid somebody who I've never met before. Somebody who could actually use some extra views. Let's just take another look at this. Let me take a look at this particular person. Oh boy, hang on. We got ourselves a bit of an ad break. I really hate it when that happens, but ads will be ads. And I'm getting a Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercial.
Said you
Alright. We see Ustra Ahazu on, and he could use a few more views.
You came back because you missed me so much.
Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna raid Ustra Ahazu.
More treasure.
Alright, let me just bring up our little raid screen here.
Before the time runs out.
Whoops.
Whoa.
Oops. Oh boy. Looks like we have some issues here with them. I got some hotkey issues. We had a bit of technical difficulties there. Just give me one quick moment. I'm probably going to have to disable the hotkeys here because it's bringing up some screens that I don't want to show right now. Okay. We got somebody else who just came in. Hello to the viewer that just came in, but unfortunately our stream's about to end. I'm about to do a raid.
I'm waiting.
Okay. Hotkeys, here we go.
Come on. I had so much time, I could have just tried a second time.
Okay.
I thought I had to hurry more.
There we go.
This is why
That should, I believe that should help fix things. Wait. Let me just try one more thing here.
Come on!
Okay, looks like I'm just gonna have to disable a lot of hotkeys here so we don't accidentally create some screens that we don't want to see right now.
It has a little bit of the groove thing going on, right?
Okay. How you feeling right now, Diabetes, if you don't mind me asking? It's like, did you have a good lunch? Was the sandwich at least to your liking? I think that's it in terms of that. Okay, I think now I could do a proper raid, so let me try this again.
I know it is possible. This is what I tried the entire time on the other ropes too. How do you get like a little bit of
Ustra Ahazu. Okay, I gotta type this around. I gotta type this correctly.
It's very important for this one.
Oh, okay, I have to do it I'm gonna need to do it from the website itself.
Stop swinging? What are you doing? What?
I gotta go do this through Stream Manager. Okay, looks like the rate is now set. Alright guys, I guess we're gonna be rating, so we're rating Ustra Hazu, so till then, see you next stream.